All right. Well,
Thanks,
first of
Glenn.
all, congratulations to all the graduates, and thank you for having me speak here. I remember the day I graduated in '92, and it's probably the same sense everyone there has, a huge sense of accomplishment, but probably a little nervous about the future going forward because your structured life of university is now opened up to this plethora of opportunity with multiple paths that you can go down. But what I want to give everyone as advice is don't worry. I know you'll all do great. And as new things such as what's been going on in the last few months of happening, change like that always leads to opportunity. Going forward, I just want to give 4 pieces of advice to all the graduates as I reflect back on my last 28 years since I graduated. The first thing I want to just pass along to everyone is your learning has just begun. If you think that it's over and life carries on, it's not. It's just starting, and you have a lot of learning to do, both informal and formal, that's going to go forward, especially in your careers. The second thing I'd like to pass along is take chances. No one looks back and says, oh, I had this really easy path to go. Everyone that looks back and said, why didn't I take that opportunity or chance when it was there? And one of the big things I always tell people for, especially on the career side, is go into fields, not what exists or that are new, but what don't exist and what can exist and where you think everything is going, because that is where the change and opportunity is going to lead to. And that's what's going to give you actually a lot of challenges and satisfaction in your career going forward. The third thing, which I think is really strong and that is really important, is surrounding yourself with diversity. And when we think of diversity, we often think of different genders or different cultures that are different than yourself. But diversity is also around surrounding yourself with people and engaging with people as part of your group that have nothing to do with you, whether it's your views or especially what your weaknesses are. Identify your weaknesses and always strive to find people that have strengths where your weaknesses are. It will make you and the group you're part of a much better group and person. And the last thing I want to stress to everyone is, and I stress this because I've been going to the career nights for the last 5 years, is everyone is very career focused as we get out of school and embark on life. But I want everyone to realize that family and balance are very important. And no one looks back and said, I should have worked more, but everyone looks back in life and says, I should have spent more time with my family. I should have had a more balanced life and pursued some of my interests that were out there. So I really want to stress that. That will make you a better person overall. And with that note, I wish you all the best going forward and all the successes in your life and adventures in your next stage of your life. Thank you.
And I'm going to move on to our student speaker. His name is Colin Fowler. Just a quick note before I start his introduction. I actually met Colin before he started university. So he came to one of these high school nights, and he was very keen on economics right from the beginning. And he was full of questions and energy, but he's turned out to be a terrific student, and obviously he's going to be a great alumni. Colin is graduating with a major in economics and a minor in business. Colin is also a former senator, former president of the Economic Student Society, and co-founder of the Build the SFU Gondola Advocacy Group. So without further ado, Colin.
Before I begin, I want to thank the department for their work. We truly have one of the hardest working staff on campus, and it shouldn't surprise anyone that SFU Economics was just named one of the top economics programs in the entire country. For the students, congratulations on graduating from Arts' toughest department. We all face challenges to our degree, but I'd like to mention our large international student population. You have immersed yourself in a brand new culture and perhaps even a new language. What an achievement. The story I want to tell you today is one of carving out your own path and not backing down. When I first came to campus for a visit in grade 12, I met Azim and his advice was simple: get as involved as you can. It wasn't until my third year that I truly began to feel compelled to make a difference in the SFU community. My troubles with my commute led me to co-found the Build the SFU Gondola Advocacy Group, and the stories my friends told me of slipping through the cracks led me to run for Senate. Lobbying for a $200 million public transit project and reading thousands of pages of internal documents were never what I'd imagined doing during my undergrad life. In each role, I was consistently challenged, belittled, and even ridiculed by others, yet the moments I was closest to quitting will always stick with me because they forced me to rethink everything and find new solutions. I couldn't count how many friends told me to just give up, that I wouldn't be able to run PR for a major transportation project and that it didn't make sense, that I wouldn't be able to sway faculty into supporting students and that we should just deal with it. Yet I stayed the course. For the first time ever, TransLink has approved more consultations and technical studies into the gondola, and myself and a team of students successfully lobbied SFU to implement the pass-fail grading system for this semester, despite massive pushback from upper-level administration. For every person that doubted my work, 100 people benefited. Always fight for what you believe in, even when it seems nobody's on your side, and don't sweat the small stuff. Regardless of what you did here, lived on campus, commuted, got involved, or chose not to, you have a clean slate ahead. You determine what happens next. Choose the life you want to live, and give it your all. If you get stuck, you'll always have the department and other alumni to fall back on for guidance and advice. And if you want to make a difference for the next generation of students, keep in touch with ASM and pay your successes forward. Join the SFU Economics LinkedIn group to access a vast network of your fellow alumni. Believe it or not, you too have the tools to think, innovate, and persevere. In fact, the world could probably use a whole lot more of that right now. Best of luck in your future endeavors, class of 2020.